So let's continue on with my Disney reviews, and the last Disney movie that's in the animated canon I reviewed was The Jungle Book and The Jungle Book 2. So now I'm going to review the Jungle Book 2016 live-action movie directed by Jon Favreau, who is a really great director. He was a really great choice for this. And the biggest thing I can give The Jungle Book 2016 is that the CG in this is most of the time really incredibly beautiful. Like, it feels real. Like, it's got literally just the only thing that's real in this movie. Acting was the kid who played Mowgli. He was literally the only thing involved in this movie that was real. Everything else was as a ball on a stick. And with his acting and with the CGI level of the level of the CGI, I think this is actually really incredible on that feat. Like, that is truly incredible. And the thing I also like about this movie is that it is very different to the original movie. It's I don't know if it's more similar to Rudyard Kipling's books, which I have not read. I don't know if it's similar or not, or more similar, but this one is not the same as the original movie. There are things that happen in it that happened in the first one, but it's not the same way aesthetically. And again, I haven't read any of Rudyard Kipling's books, so I don't know what the real story of the Jungle Book is, but I thought that this did a great job of being a better version of the original movie in parts. There are a couple things that I can give the original over this, but for the most part, I feel like there are more positives with this one than the original. I really like, too, how the beginning starts out differently, where Mowgli has a wolf family at the beginning, and his relationship with them before Bagheera meets him and takes him under his wing. And I really like, too, how it sets up Shere Khan as this villain better than the original, where in the original he just kind of appears at the end of the movie. He doesn't really have much of a build-up. In this one you see him at the beginning, and you get the build-up, and he's misunderstood. And the confrontations that Mowgli has with him before the confrontations at the end, I think, is actually, it works better as a story, better thematically. So I really think that's a great positive as well. And I really like how we've got all these characters that are interpreted differently, like Scarlett Johansson's character Kaa, who is the snake, who's only in one scene in the movie, is interpreted differently than the original movie. In the original movie, Kaa was this silly, he hypnotized Mowgli and anybody else, but he was still this silly character. In this one, Kaa is intimidating and scary, and I like how it is a voice of Scarlett Johansson, and it actually makes it even creepier, because she actually does the creepy voice well in this movie. It really works. And her false sense of security, I think, really, with her line reads, are great. She really sets up how creepy this thing is, even though he's only in one, or Kaa's only in one scene in the movie. But I really like that. And I really think it's a cool, different choice of whenever she hypnotizes Mowgli, she tells him a story through his eyes of the images of Mowgli and his father, in the red flower, which is fire, where the father, lights Shere Khan's tail on fire, and Shere Khan runs away, and Shere Khan vows revenge. And I thought that in terms of, incorporating the exposition into the movie is really cool and really interesting that they did it that way, because it makes sense to have Kaa more in this than the other one. It makes more sense having her tell this story of Mowgli's past to make it more important for her to be in the movie, and I think that really works. And really, the realization of Shere Khan killing his dad and having the fear of fire from Shere Khan really is, again, a great story choice and a great way of integrating it into this movie, and integrating Kaa in a way where Kaa's more important than just being there as oh, he hypnotizes Mowgli and then he's gone. It makes more sense in this one. It's just a very interesting way to show exposition. And the Trust in Me song, I like how that's not a song in this movie. It's just a music cue in the background, and she just says the words, but it works really well and creepy and really disturbing. So I like Scarlett Johansson. I think that she's a good choice for Kaa. I really like Bill Murray. And watching the original again, and watching Jungle Book 2 for the first time, where John Goodman was Baloo in that one, wasn't that good. Or did he not that good? I mean, as in he didn't fit the role, John Goodman, in my opinion. And I love John Goodman. Goodman's a great actor, but I didn't feel like he didn't fit him in the Jungle Book 2. And Bill Murray in this movie, I think, is a great replacement for Baloo. I think that is great casting. I think that he is very funny and very likable. He's got such a great personality, and it's Bill Murray. And not to say John Goodman doesn't, but in the Jungle Book 2, it's weird how he felt so out of place for me personally. So I really thought that was awesome. And also Christopher Walken playing King Louie. That is, again, really fantastic casting because of the way he talks. Honestly, it makes it fit very well whenever he says like "ooby doo," I want to be like you. Like those lines really work with Christopher Walken. The way he speaks, it is really fantastic. And the songs in this, there are only two songs in the movie in this version, which are Bare Necessities and I Want to Be Like You, and they're both fine, but the songs in this movie are the only negative, I guess. I don't even think they're bad, but I think that the original songs are way better. These ones, like, it kind of felt like they kind of put in the musical songs just to do that. I mean, I understand you have to put these two in there if you're like remaking this, but they're not as good because they're not exactly singing the songs. They're just kind of speaking, which is just kind of an odd choice. So the songs are better in the original, but this one still has fine songs. They're just not catchy or memorable like the original. The original has incredibly catchy songs with the Sherman Brothers, so it's a shame, but that's the only thing I wouldn't put over the original, is that the songs in the original are better for me. And I really liked the final battle as well. I thought that it did a fantastic job at building up Mowgli and Shere Khan and having them both, the hero and the villain, the misunderstood villain, and the hero who doesn't understand what's going on. I like that it built up to that. And that final confrontation is so better than the original movie because it's Mowgli running around in trees, burning on, like lighting up on fire. Everything is burning. Everything is burning down to the ground, and Mowgli is just literally like at a trap, and like Shere Khan is intimidating as hell, and he actually really is scary in this movie. And he was intimidating in the original in a way, but like this one, the way that he's animated, he looks just really scary, and he works very well. Not to say he wasn't in the original, but he's fine in the original. He's great in this one. Shere Khan and how menacing he is. He's a very menacing character. So this one for me is overall, despite liking the music less, this one I think is easily the superior version of the two Jungle Book movies, like Disney movies, like the original animated version and this version. While the original animated version is good, I enjoy it. I enjoy things about it a lot. It's not my favorite Disney movie. It's fine. It's a lot more careless and just fun, which I don't have a problem with, but it's not one that I rewatch much. This one, I feel like, did a fantastic job of, again, fantastic job of just one actor in the whole movie that's physically there, and the CG is, for the most part, incredible, and the way they integrate the story, the way that they make the movie more theatrical as opposed to the original, which is theatrical in a way, but it feels less so because it was made in the 60s. It doesn't feel like it has as many acts to it. It just kind of feels like a lot of things just happen. Random people show up and they meet random people in the original, and it's fine, but this one integrates the characters and the story so much better. And besides the music not being as good, this is easily, for me, the superior version of the two, and I really love this movie. I think it's one of the best Disney remakes, even though I did love a lot of them, live-action remakes, but this one I think is really superior. And I didn't review the Jungle Book from '94 because I have not seen it and I need to find a way to watch it. So if you're wondering where's that one, I haven't reviewed it because I don't know how to find it. If I find it anywhere out in the wild, I'll get it and watch it. But as of now, I just reviewed the Jungle Book 1, Jungle Book 2, and then the Jungle Book remake, this one. So overall, this is an interesting franchise, or these three are interesting films. Really like the first one, even though it's kind of careless and carefree. The second one I do not like at all. It's a direct-to-video Disney sequel and one of the worst. And then this one is truly a superior version of the original. So these three films are fascinating in their own right, but I love this one. And I love talking about these movies. So that's it for the Jungle Book films for now, and I will keep reviewing Disney movies in the animated canon. So thank you guys so much for watching. Tell me down below what you think of Jungle Book 2016.